On the CircuitPython Parsec today, I wanted to talk about sending UART commands from CircuitPython to a UART serial display. So what I've got here, you can see a little display. This is the XCamera Labs Term Driver 2, which has a set of pins going into it from a Metro RP2040 that I have over here on the side. These are a serial transmit, a serial receive, and power, 3.3 volts in this case, and ground. So with those connected, I'm able to send UART print out to, or write UART out to that display. If you take a look at, I'm gonna restart this just to get the blasting bright light out of there. So if I run that now, okay, you'll see it has just, and I'm going to go to a full screen for a moment on that down camera just because that display is very small. So you can see here it just says welcome to UART, and if I run there we go. If I rerun that, you're going to see a little green blink up in the corner as it receives a serial command or a UART command. So that's just sending one single command. Let me go ahead and run this in a loop, and now you're going to see some text get printed, and I'm just going to indent that text each time. Just says CircuitPython Parsec over and over again. If I go back to this display right here, you can see I'm also sending that to my REPL. So the way this works in CircuitPython is a little different than using something like a display I/O driver. This is a much older, simpler serial form using UART. So the way that we do this is I'm importing the board for definitions and bus I/O so that I have a UART bus that I can send out on. I then create that UART instantiation here, busio.uart, and then I tell it the pins that I'm using. Turn off those diagnostics. The pins that I'm using for transmit, in this case D0, receive D1, and the baud rate that we're going to send on. Then I'm just doing a little bit of a sleep so that we have time for that UART to boot up, or for the term driver to boot up. And then I'm clearing the screen. So here I'm using a binary code for clear screen, followed by one for cursor home. And that's why you'll see if I resave this, the first thing that happens on this display is that it clears it out, pauses a moment, and then starts to write. The way we're writing in the loop here is I'm saying UART.write, and then a number of spaces, or a space, just a blank space multiplied by the indent value. That's just how I'm moving this across the screen. Followed by CircuitPython Parsec, and then some characters to close that out, and encoding that as a byte string to send out to the display. At the same time, I'm also sending this to the regular REPL. And then we pause for a quarter second and increase that indent with a modulo 24 so it wraps back around. So this is kind of an interesting alternative to having just LEDs or other feedback. If you are doing UART stuff on your microcontroller in sort of a headless mode, you can send out to a little display like this. And that is how you can send UART commands from CircuitPython to the term driver 2. That is your CircuitPython Parsec.